Okay, and so I'm going to invite now Sherry Wood, the chair of our core council, to come up with an announcement that is actually very personally exciting for me.
Hi, good morning. I'm Sherry Wood. I am privileged to be the chair of the core council here at the center, and we do have very exciting news this morning that I'm anxious to share with you. The core council has unanimously approved a sabbatical for Reverend Petra. I don't know what's going on behind me. She can be hearing all kinds of things. Part of Reverend Petra's letter of call, or our contract with her, is to have a sabbatical, a 3-month sabbatical every 5 years. She's now going into her 13th year as the senior minister and has never had a sabbatical. So, in order to bring all of us into alignment and integrity with her letter of call and contract, we have said now is the time for you to go on this spiritual pilgrimage and to renew and deepen your own spiritual practice and come back to us with fresh new eyes, enthusiasm for your ministry. So for those of you that work in the corporate world or the academic world, the sabbatical is commonplace. People do this all the time. In ministry, not as much. It's starting to take place more and become part of ministers' letters of call. There are several, Reverend Edward out in Santa Rosa, Reverend Michelle up in Arizona, that do this on a regular basis, and so it's good to know that we are in alignment with what's going on in the rest of the ministerial world. So what might you ask is going to happen while she's gone? We will be here. I expect to see each one of you here every Sunday. Our regular Sunday services will continue. We have fabulous speakers that Reverend Petra has mentored. We have Alva, we have Veronica, we will have guest speakers that will be here leading Sunday services every week. So we will not miss a beat during these months while she is gone. We will deeply miss her, of course, and part of our own individual and collective growth is to really lean on each other and lean into each other and grow individually, grow personally, grow as a community. This is an opportunity to say, yes, we are a solid spiritual community. We have an awesome staff that is very capable and efficient and effective. We have a rock-solid practitioner corps that holds the consciousness of this church at all times. And we have amazing individuals in leadership. So I am very confident, I'm very excited, I'm very proud that we have a minister who believes in us, actually, that she can lead and come back and we'll still be here. So that is my vision and that is my trust. In fact, Reverend Edward, who I talked to about this, he went as far to say, if you're not here when I come back and if attendance drops and pledges drop, then I'm not coming back. So that's one way to language it, and so I'm trusting that our attendance will actually grow, our prosperity will be abundant in every way, and we can bless Petra and support Petra on this spiritual time away for her. So I'm going to let her tell you just a little bit about what she's going to do while she's gone.
Yay, thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Sherry. Briefly how this came about. I was invited 6 months ago or so, I was invited to speak at a conference in Geneva, Switzerland in August. In the second week in August. I'd love for you to join us there. It's going to be really fabulous with Michael Gott and Karen Russo and David Alden and a number of other really wonderful presenters. So I got invited to do that, all expenses paid, trip, plane ticket and everything, which is really awesome. And there's another conference going on in Italy that AG&T is putting on in October that they have been holding a spot for me to participate in. They want us, there's a ring of about 50 to 100 of us that they want us to be around the conversation. There'll be 30 world spiritual leaders having a conversation about spirituality and interreligious dialogue on a global level. And I was asked to be one of the participants of the ring sort of around those. And I wasn't quite sure I was going to swing 2 trips to Europe. It was like, okay, the one I can get, it's fully paid for, but I don't know about the second one. And AG&T Barbara Fields was good enough to say, I'm holding the intention for you to be there, so I'm holding your space. So that was in December. And so as time went on and I was getting sort of antsy about, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I said to Susan, look, I think I'm going to have to give up the trip to Italy. I just don't see it. And she looked at me and she said, Petra, she said, you need a sabbatical. You haven't had one. It's time for you to have a sabbatical. Why don't you just stay in Europe? Because your trip to Europe is already paid for. Why don't you just stay in Europe? Okay, so first I gasped, then I burst into tears. So it's really been a wild ride, let me just tell you. So I feel hugely supported at home. I feel unbelievably supported by the court counsel. It freaks me out a little bit to think about being in Europe for 2.5 months on my own. I do have family there. I will be doing some visiting with them, but I'm very clear that I won't be spending all my time there because I'm not going on vacation. I'm actually going on sabbatical. So I plan to walk the labyrinth in Chartres, spend some time there. I plan to hike my favorite mountain in Switzerland. I'd like to find a little villa somewhere in the south of France or in Bavaria and really think about who we are and where we're going, the Center for Spiritual Living, in the next 20 years. We've made a great beginning since I've been here the last 13, and there's so much more for us to do. And so I want to have a clearer picture of that. In addition, as many of you know, I've been working on a second book, the Joyous Living Journal, which is the sequel to the Joyous Freedom Journal that Christian and I have written together. We're writing this second one together, also be published by Spiritual Living Press. But I've had a couple of editors and publishers speak to me about, Petra, when are you writing your book? We'd like to see the book proposal for your book. And so that's the other thing, that I need some quiet time. I don't have the time in my busy life right now to sit down and really flesh that out and write a 30-page book proposal. And so, as I said, I hope to find a little villa somewhere, a little quiet town, a little place to just really be with that and bring forth whatever the Spirit has for me to do in terms of writing a book, and whatever Spirit has for us to do together. One of the things when a minister announces that they go on sabbatical, Edward and Michelle and Roger Teal and Chris Michaels and all the ones that I know that have gone on sabbatical, the very first thing that people ask is, does this mean they're leaving the church? The answer to that is no. I'm going on sabbatical so that when I come back, we are refreshed collectively. We have a fresh vision. I have a fresh idea, a fresh vision about where we're going and what we're doing. And I just feel so supported. I feel so proud of this community that I am able to do this and not feel anxiety about how will the staff handle it, what will the court counsel do, how will the practitioners be. I feel so grounded and supported by the community that we've built here, and by just by all of you. So I just can't thank you enough for being a part of it.